Hey guys, it's Rachel from The Little Ring Lamb, and today is actually a new segment. If you watched last week's Baba Back to Me, I talked about introducing a new segment on Tuesdays while exams are going on so I can pre-film them and already have them ready to be uploaded so we're not missing out on a video and we're keeping the channel running, and also this idea I had and I really just wanted to fit it in somewhere, so it worked out perfectly. So this idea, if you can tell by the title, is Book Memories. It might have a more jazzy title when I go to edit it, but right now that's the tentative title. And this series is going to be me looking back at certain series or just individual books that I've read, talking about what was going on in my life, the feelings I have with these books, and some of these stories may have been in individual book reviews for these books. But I thought, what better books to talk about than the Pretty Little Liars series, which is one that I've talked about extensively on my channel and one that a lot of you guys read. And these stories, if you've seen the book reviews, might be in certain book reviews, but I'm going to compile my favorite stories about times of my life reading these books and kind of the experience, because I find that's part of the experience of reading that usually gets overlooked in a lot of people's reviews, especially my own sometimes. The experience, what's going on in your life kind of reading this, because reading is not only a journey in the book, but like Alain Botton said in his book, what is it called? I'm forgetting. How Proust Can Change Your Life. Proust believed that reading is a reflection. Like, you're not fully immersed in the world, you're still reflecting on your own world. And that's something that's really stuck with me since reading that book. So I decided today to talk about the Pretty Little Liars series, and next week will be a different series or book. I'm not quite sure which I'm going to talk about yet, but there's so many possibilities. So basically, the Pretty Little Liars series has been with me for a long time. It's obviously a big series. There's 18 books, 16 regular books, and then two kind of like, I call them, one's a kind of prequel-ish. One's a prequel and one's kind of like a prequel-ish, like it takes place in between two of the books, but it was published and written later than those books. And it's been my life since I started reading it in grade 7, and the last book came out when I was in my second year of university, first semester of that. And it's just crazy that it's been with me for so long, so I have so many good memories about it. I really love the series, no matter what people say. Like, some people complain that there's so many books, and I think, like, why would you complain about that? Like, some people love the series, and I don't think you should complain if other people are getting enjoyment out of something. Just because you don't want to read it, then don't read it, don't look it up, don't buy it. Like, I don't get why people complain about that. But I absolutely love it, and I'm so excited for whenever a new one comes out. I really hope there could be more books in the series in the future, but Sarah Shepard said that she's not closing the door completely, so fingers crossed, because I love this series so much. So my first memory has to do with the book Flawless by Sarah Shepard. This is the second book in the series. Now, I actually went to the bookstore the day that I got this book. It aims to pick up a private book series by Kate Bryan. It's like one of the books in that series, and they weren't in my local Kohl's because it is quite small and they never have any books I really want in stock. It's like always like I'm like, oh, I'm going for the second book, and they only have the first and the third, for example. And actually that Kohl's just closed down last week, because I feel like it's not because of the chain. I think it's just because it has really bad selection in there, but it's kind of sad still because now the nearest bookstore is like a town away. So basically, this book, I went in there and I saw the cover. Like, you can see how bright this is, and I was like, ooh, pretty. And like, I picked it up and I read it, and I think I realized that the first book wasn't there, but I was back in the day, I was a rebel. I was like, I can pick it up with the second book. And I think, like, if you did pick up the second book and read it, you could grasp pretty much everything in the first book. The first book is more contextual background, but you wouldn't be at a loss if you started this book. Any book later than this, yeah, you'd probably be at a loss. But I remember reading it, and I remember being like, oh my gosh, this is so good, and reading it on the school bus to my school, and just loving it. I read it very quick. And then I think that was like near a Sunday or a Saturday, and then the next Saturday or something, I'm sleeping over at my best friend's house, and I was on to Perfect by Sarah Shepard, the third book in the series. And I was there, I think, till 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and me and my best friend loves to read too. We read very different books, but, well, not very different, because we do have some overlap, but we were both reading that afternoon because I was just chilling at our house after that. And this was when I was, yeah, still in grade 7. And I remember getting to the back of this book, and the last page, the last A message, and you're like, oh my god. And I'm like, I need to get the next book. So I remember, like, after being like, Carly, like, I have to go home. I need to read this book badly now. And, oh, also, I just want to say something because I'm going on and on about these books. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys if you haven't read the books, just to let you know. Anyway, then I was like, I remember calling my mom and dad and asking if, like, we could go to the bookstore to get the 4th book and the 5th book. And they actually did that. Like, usually they don't buy into my wants, but I think they could see how much I love this series, and they got it for me. And I was, well, we went there. I got it for me. But I was so excited. I was like, yay. And I needed the 4th book, and I remember just devouring that. And then it came time for the 8th book to come out, and this was a sad one because this is supposed to be the last book in the series, and I knew that. And I kind of like the 6th book, it came out and I didn't read it right away, but then when the 7th book came out, I read the 6th and 7th together, so I kind of lost touch with the series in that sense. But then when the 8th book was coming out, I was so sad. I had it pre-ordered, and I remember most of like all the rest of the books besides the 8th to the 16th, I would always have, like, I'd ask my parents to go pick it up for me when I was in school, and it'd be on my placemat when I came home from school, even when I was in university, because usually the days it came out, I was always really busy in school, so they'd always go pick it up for me, so I was very appreciative of that. And this book, the night of the Pretty Little Liars show was premiering, and I was watching that, and then I had something else, I forget, some family dinner or something. Couldn't read a lot of it. I remember the next morning I was like supposed to be washing my face and getting ready for school, and I was on the rug in the bathroom like reading, because I got to the halfway point, a big bombshell was dropped, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like reading that. I remember my mom busting into the bathroom door because she was wondering what was taking me so long. And she's like, what are you doing? She's like, I'll take that book away from you if you don't get ready. I'm like, I'll get ready. I'm like, don't take it. I'm like, don't take it. So that is my first half of the series, my kind of big memories. So now we're going to move on to the second half of the series. When the 9th book was released, Twisted, this is the revival of the series. And I was supposed to go to book 12. And then I was supposed to, I think, go to book 14, I think. And then I went to book 16 and then the prequel. So there's a lot more coming that I didn't know about. But I was reading Sarah Shepard's Twitter page, and I didn't even have Twitter, and I was reading all the excerpts she was posting online. I was so obsessed, and I got this actually, it was supposed to come out on the Tuesday, but I got it the Thursday before because the bookstore called me because I pre-ordered it, and I was like, they're calling me? Like, I'm like, it's not supposed to be out yet. I'm like, run, go get it before they change their minds and take it away. And I just devoured that one. I didn't like that one as much as the other ones. I think maybe because getting back into the series, because I'd already mourned the series for a year and then it came back, but I still really enjoy it. And then the 10th book came out, and I remember reading this, and I've never been this immersed in a book. I was reading in the living room, just like casually, and my mom was apparently screaming for me from the kitchen, and it's not that far away, like, the room, like, there's no door between those rooms, and it's, like, basically, it's like my walls of my room, like, that far apart. I know you guys can't see that, but just imagine. And she was calling me, and then she put her hand on my shoulder, and I screamed and flipped out because I couldn't understand what was happening, and I was so scared, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I remember I was not feeling well that night, and my mom's like, oh, why don't you just go, like, take a bath, and then, like, go get into bed and, like, go to sleep, and she's like, you can read your book or whatever. And I was like, already finished. And she's like, what? And I was like, you finished it? Like, 3 hours after I got it, I was just, like, devoured it. I don't even think I've ever read a book that fast in recent years. And yeah, it was great. And then Vicious came out by Sarah Shepard, and I remember my last class of the day was theater and film, which I had with my brother and my best friend. And because they were both, my best friend had to take a year off, so her and my brother were both in first year that year, and I was in second year, and we took the class because it was a first year class. And I remember getting this and, like, carrying it with me to school, and I was like, I need to read this. And it took me longer to finish this than any of the other ones because I was mourning the series again. But this is such a fantastic conclusion. Definitely dramatic, like it says in the sticker. And yes, that's most of my memories about the Pretty Little Liars series. Those are my most significant memories, and I thought this was just a really good exercise, and we have it all compiled here, and could really fangirl about this book. So if you guys have any memories about Read the Pretty Little Liars books, like any good stories, definitely let me know in the comments, or you guys could even make a video of this, and if you decide to, definitely comment below. I don't know if this video idea has been made before. If so, definitely let me know, and I'll give credit where credit's due. But yeah, I just like to hear your guys' stories, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!